Hello my beautiful Ebony and welcome to my channel. My queen, today I want to talk to you about a deep subject, an intimate and liberating subject. You know, too many women, brilliant, sensitive, full of love, spend their lives waiting. Waiting to be recognized, waiting to be loved, waiting to be supported, waiting to be validated, to be chosen, and it wears them out, it wears them out, it empties them, it makes them doubt. But let me tell you an essential truth, my queen. Everything you expect from others, you can give it to yourself. And when you do that, you are taking back power, peace, dignity. Today, I am going to share with you these powerful keys, with concrete examples for each. I want you to feel strong, to feel capable, and above all to feel free, my queen. You are ready then, let's go. The first key is the fact of understanding deeply that no one, you don't owe yourself anything in life, my queen. You are no less lovable if someone doesn't give you what you hope for. You are not invisible if you are not seen as you deserve. Life doesn't owe you love, nor recognition or loyalty from others. And that doesn't mean you don't deserve them. But it does mean you shouldn't expect them to exist fully. Here are some powerful examples that can help you. For example, you no longer wait for someone to offer you flowers. You go and buy yourself some every Friday, just because you know you want it. Likewise, you no longer hope to hear the words, "I'm proud of you." But you take the time to say it out loud to yourself when you pose a aligned marine. You no longer wait for excuses to heal, but you choose to free yourself for yourself, not for others. You no longer depend on a compliment to feel beautiful, but you look at your reflection with love, even without makeup. For example, you no longer rely on someone to make you feel important, but you give yourself space, you give yourself respect, Moraine. When you realize that you no longer need external permission, then you become unstoppable. The second key is to redefine your standards from your inner value. My queen, too often we accept crumbs for fear of being alone. We lower our standards, our demands, sorry, because it's better than nothing. But you, my queen, you deserve everything. And everything starts with what you choose to accept. So it's up to you to decide what is acceptable or not in your life. Here are some powerful examples that can help you. If, for example, Moraine, you refuse to be spoken to with condescension, even while joking, it's a plus for you. For example, you no longer tolerate one-sided relationships and you no longer run after anyone. Another example that you can apply is to grant rest. To grant yourself rest, even when the world tells you, be productive. Another example again, is that you do not wait to be invited, but you propose ideas, you create and you gather yourself. You can also say no firmly and without guilt when something is not aligned with your values. My queen, redefining your standards is sending a clear message to life. It is saying to life, I know what I want. The third key is being your own source of validation. Marine, what you feel, what you think, what you create, has value, even if no one tells you so. You must no longer wait for external approval to feel legitimate. You must be your first cheerleader. Your own engine, your own light. Here are some powerful examples. Every weekend, for example, make a list of your small and big victories. You can also keep a gratitude journal in which you write down everything that makes you feel proud to have accomplished. You can also record an audio of encouragement that you will listen to when you feel doubting. You can also put down your ideas, even if they seem imperfect. Honor milk, you can also look at yourself in the mirror and tell yourself, I trust myself, I have everything in me. My queen, validating yourself means learning to nourish yourself from the source. To no longer beg for drops from others. The fourth key is becoming emotionally independent. Marine, you have the right to cry, you have the right to need love. But you also have the right and the power to be your own refuge. Here are some powerful examples. You can, for example, learn to soothe yourself without waiting for someone to console you. You can, for example, practice self-compassion every time you experience a difficult moment. You can, for example, write down your emotions instead of ruminating on them. You can, for example, pause before reacting so as to no longer be a slave to impulsiveness. You can, for example, develop refocusing rituals like walking, breathing, listening to music that uplifts you. My queen, you are not alone as long as you are there for yourself. And that is true power. The fifth key is creating what you desire instead of waiting for it. Marine, you want magic. You must become the magician, no longer wait for someone to offer you the opportunity. For someone to offer you love or for someone to offer you the green light. Create my queen, initiate my queen, take your place. Here are some powerful examples. Launch, for example, your project, even if you haven't understood everything. You will learn along the way, for example, travel alone. Even if it's just in a neighboring town. For example, start an activity that inspires you. Even if no one follows you. For example, transform a wound into a message by sharing your story. For example, make your life a field of experience, not a waiting space. My queen, when you take action, you say to the universe, I am ready. The sixth key is to detach yourself from the gaze of others. My queen, the judgment of others does not define your value. The judgment of others does not define your value. What matters is your truth, your integrity, your feelings. Don't live to please, live to be. Here are some powerful examples. Dance, for example, even if people look at you. Life, even if it bothers others. Say what you feel without apologizing for existing. Make bold choices, even if others judge you. Expose yourself, you tell your story, even if you tremble. Dare to shine without hiding, because you have to reassure others by hiding yourself. My queen, your light must not shrink for others, no, it must shine to free yourself. The seventh key is to offer yourself first what you hope for from others. Marine, you want to be loved, so start by taming each day. You want to be chosen, choose yourself first. You want to be supported, be your first support. Here are some powerful examples. For example, write a letter. Write it to yourself, a love letter every month to honor your path. For example, create a wellness ritual like a hot bath, a facial. A sacred silence, affirm yourself, declare, I deserve everything I desire. And I start giving it to myself today. Set aside, for example, a moment for yourself, without screens, without distractions. Practice, for example, unconditional love with yourself. Especially in moments when you doubt. Moraine, what you seek elsewhere, become it, that is where is the true power. To finish, you see, my beautiful Deben, African woman, black woman, powerful woman. You do not have to wait for someone to give you back, to reach out to you to lift you up. You do not need permission to exist fully. You are enough, you are complete, you are worthy, you are powerful, from today. Make this radical choice, choose yourself, love yourself. Give yourself what you deserve, do not depend on anyone to feel whole. Marine, you are free and you can create everything yourself. If this video touched you, then subscribe. Leave a comment with the key that spoke to you the most. And share this video with a woman who needs it. A woman you want to see rise. You deserve everything, my queen, and above all you can do anything.